The following podcast contains some strong language and some very average opinions. Any references to actual people are wildly inaccurate. It's probably best if you don't listen at all. The Roaring Peacock Podcast. Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock Podcast. This is the match review from a very disappointing game. We lost again, 2-1 to West Ham. But here to say everything's okay. There's not going to be any problems. Well, that's a lie, actually. There are going to be loads of problems. My name's Adonis. You know me as the Adelites on Twitter. And joining us today is Barney. Barney __.
Hey, mate, you all right?
I'm good. I'm fine.
That's the one.
I knew this was going to happen. You know, you go up a
The thing
division,
is,
and it's harder. It's harder, isn't it?
we just need to accept that we're going to lose more games than we're going to win. Like we were just used to winning games or drawing games last season, so that's the difference. But I think tonight is just the whole performance from the team. It was just not a Leeds performance whatsoever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Losing games in the Premier League is fine. West Ham, Allaire cost 45 million. Leeds United Football Club, the entire club cost 45 million. So I think it's fine, isn't it?
It
Got to
is,
remember,
but
we were losing to 10-man Wigan just a few years ago.
I think everyone's saying that VAR's taking the fun out of football, but I think set pieces are taking the fun out of football. And for Leeds United supporters,
I agree completely.
Don't have corners, don't have free kicks. Just carry on. Just crack on. Just play some football.
If the ball goes over the line, I want to see drop balls brought back.
Yeah.
And I want to see Calvin Phillips versus Declan Rice in the centre circle with a drop ball every time it goes out. I
was really disappointed with Phillips tonight.
Oh, dear.
I was expecting more from him. That's a really bad take from me, I know, but he wasn't very good tonight. He wasn't. He just didn't. He didn't impose himself on the game tonight whatsoever. And I think when Phillips doesn't impose himself, we lack something as a team.
We definitely do. I think Click's the important one for me because if he isn't playing well, nothing really works because he's box-to-box guy and he had such a good. I'm not convinced with Rodrigo in the middle either. I thought he played terribly as well. There were times when he got the ball and he just ballooned it up into the air at no one.
For me, I'm going to start calling Rodney now anyway.
Okay, Rodney.
Rodney.
Rodders?
For me, I think he's on a different level to every other player on the pitch. And it's about those players getting onto that level as well. But I think there's a lot of players tonight that didn't perform, and that's the difference with the Bielsa team, that every single player needs to be on it in each game, not just one or two players. It needs to be that's how the system works.
Totally. It's a team game, isn't it? But I know exactly what you mean. They need to be at like peak performance, otherwise it's not going to work. We could get away with scraping results here or there. But I do remember, I remember us losing to QPR and Bielsa was on his haunches in the corridor. I remember a particularly bad set of results and that ended up with Ayling giving that interview after the Forest game. So we've had bad runs of form before. I mean, every team goes through bad patches, don't they?
We do. But as a Bielsa side, we're always used to, in the last two seasons, a really strong start to the season. So hopefully, come Christmas time next year, we'll be in the Champions League. But I think that for me is that the way Bielsa was in his press conference after the Chelsea game and how pissed off he looked, you just thought we were going to see a reaction from the team. Possibly injuries may have changed that, but it just lacked something tonight. Just lacked a spark. Just lacked something. Just didn't click whatsoever.
Somebody wants to join us. I've got no idea who it is. I just asked the Twitter world.
This is going to be fun.
Okay, we've got a knock at the door, and it's Liam. Who are you? What's your story?
Mate?
Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Give up, Barney.
Who are you?
I'm just a Leeds fan from Donny, exiled in Sheffield. Been a fan since I was born, and that's about it, really. You know, like everyone else.
Who the fuck? Who the fucking hell are you?
I'm no one from square ball like that. I'm not even on Barney levels. Let's be honest.
So, Liam, your ups and downs 1919, is that right?
That's me, mate.
What do you think about that game then?
Thought one, we should have had a penalty. Another penalty. I thought that was handball.
No.
I do. I think if it comes off his chest and then hits his arm, you can kind of get away with that. But it kind of cradles it, I think, when it's going down towards his knees. But if I'm kind of holding on to false stones, I guess. I think second half we looked like a championship side second half, didn't we? We really did. We didn't look...
Well, we were a few months ago.
We didn't look on the ball at all. I thought Costa coming on offered nothing. I thought we would be better with 10 men. Honestly, I thought he just gave away the ball so much, didn't he? You know, the second goal. I've not had that many tonight, but I've had a couple. And when Costa gave away that free kick, I got up to go to the toilet. I thought, I can't watch this. And as you know, taking a quick leak in the toilet, I heard goal going. I heard commentary, and I'm like, I knew that we're going to go in, because both of them goals tonight, yeah, they hit the post, didn't they? Yeah, about 10 minutes to go or something.
Yeah.
But both their goals, did they really threaten other than that? I mean, Ben Rama kept hitting it over the bar and didn't really seem to have many chances, I don't think. And the two goals that they scored from, Harrison should really see it out. He slips, knocks it out for a corner. They score. Costa, they score. Two individual errors for me. But
I don't know how you've managed to stay quiet, quietly shuffle off for a piss, because I leapt to my feet and gone, "What the fuck have you done there, Costa? You fucking idiot!"
Well, I can't.
Honestly, because you've got a team who are extremely good at set pieces, and why would you give away silly free kicks like that?
The question, again, I think I asked this last time, is that if we went 1-0 ahead against West Ham on a Friday night, under the lights, with every single person in that ground, would that make a difference?
Oh, definitely. I think it would have been rocking, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? If you look at the games that we've played, and we've competed against teams as well. I think if the crowd were there, it would have been different. This isn't an excuse. I just think this is the difference between what we're used to under a Bielsa team, where the players thrive under how the system works, but under how the fans are when we play good football and when we go ahead.
I mean, I do think that the element of crowd make a difference, but often for the worst. No, I don't know. We. Especially for like 1-0 behind or something, and we have a few bad misses, then the crowd can get on the players' backs a bit, or it can turn the other way, where you know it was that Monk season, and it was the Norwich game at the end of the season, and I think we were 3-0 down, and we came back 3-0, and I think a large part of that was the crowd.
Yeah.
So 100%. It can go both ways, can't it? But I thought today we kind of ran up the pitch, and then we got a penalty, and we eventually scored it. And I don't really see that as taking the lead in a kind of conventional sense, as in playing really well and deservedly taking the lead, rather than just kind of nicking a penalty, you know. And we were never going to be holding on or whatever, anything like that. That's just not the way we play. But in terms of us going one goal ahead, and then the other team opening up, and then we can play in behind. The teams in this league are just not. They're just too good for us to be able to do that, you know.
I think that the fact that we've lost 2 games when we've gone ahead this season, where we've been used to actually winning that game, I think that the players they need to step up even more when they're winning the game. And I think that they've realised I hope they've realised after tonight that if you're winning, you're ahead, you need to step up even more, because these are Premier League players now that we're going to be playing against. They're going to be fighting even more, trying to find the channels, trying to attack us even more, trying to run us down even more. It's not just like a Wigan or a Barnsley or a whoever. It's they're just going to say, right, we'll go for a draw. No, these Premier League teams are going to go, right, we're going to win this game. We're losing, we're going to win this game. That's the difference.
It was scored quite early as well, didn't we? And there's a point when you score early. You know, there's that saying, isn't there? Sometimes you can score too early. I don't know. After we scored, I think we kind of sat back a little bit. I think it were all them. I think that the first half were a bit even, I think. Second half, I really do think that change, Acosta changed it for us. I know Harrison didn't have a great first half, but I think I would have liked to have seen him at least see it out to about 60 minutes. And if Harrison kept on kind of not getting behind as much, not penetrating as much as he can, then change him, get Costa off. But for me, Costa, when he come on, he's come on at halftime. I think Bielsa honestly thought that he could make a positive change. He's not done that. He's looked lacklustre. I think Shackleton is playing against giants, isn't he? It's like Frodo playing against chuffing giants.
Harrison wasn't playing well.
No.
So
100%.
Yeah, I thought he could have been taken off. But the problem was that Costa played worse.
That's exactly.
Costa just looked really weak on the ball and off the ball.
Yeah.
Every time there was a player next to him, just like he was just getting pushed off the ball straight away. I remember we had this conversation last season about him, that he's that sort of winger that wants to run onto the ball. When he's got the ball, he's not going to be a Rafinha that you're expecting, or Harrison. He's a different sort of winger, and he just looked really weak when he came on.
He needs to get into the fish and chips and the Yorkshire puddings, pies and gravy. He needs some meat and gravy on his bones, doesn't he? I can't talk, skinny as fuck. Never been able to put weight on, but I'm not a professional footballer. Fucking hell.
I think his hair's weighing him down. You've seen the size of his dreads.
It's a porcupine.
And the way he turns it in as well. So he's actually using his dreads as like a...
Is it a weave or something?
Yeah, that's it. A weave or something there.
Barney's right though. He weren't strong at all. When he's got his back to a West Ham player, they just kicked the ball in between his legs or just shoved him out of the way, basically threw him over and just like, get out of the way. What are you doing, boy? They were just showed no strength.
He needs to maybe go to Mercedes and maybe they can look at the aerodynamics of this porcupine that he's got on his head. Liam, you were right to a certain extent. They did come into it after we scored. Yeah. But they were sort of breaking from the halfway line just inside their half and they weren't creating any chances. They weren't putting pressure on us. They weren't having possession just outside our box. And then after that, so that lasted about 15 minutes. And then after that, from about 30 minutes on, we had 80% possession. And we were squeezing them and we were pushing them back further and further. And the problem was that quality in the final third wasn't there. 100%. And I know that Pablo's just come back and I'm particularly excited about it. I love Pablo. I fucking love him. I'm a striker.
Well, who wouldn't?
And he's a striker's dream. We needed that quality in the final third to unpick that lock, and we were just not creating enough chances with all that possession. So I was really sad to see Pablo stay on the bench. But then, even then, that first 5 or 10 minutes of the second half, we improved a lot. We improved a lot. Shackleton was running in behind. Left Creswell on his arse. Costa didn't have enough time yet to completely fuck up everything. But somehow it just all fell apart again.
Yeah, I think at some times as well, when we got into that area, that key pass, I think we tried to do another pass. We overplayed it in places as well, which was really frustrating.
But that Rodrigo chance, I mean, that was it, wasn't it? That was it. That was perfect chance to because if he scores that, I think we see the game out for a draw. And if he heads that any other angle, even if he just heads it down, it'll bounce into the corner. Fabianski's just stranded. He's just stood, and he just heads it straight into his hands. It's just like just easy.
It wasn't floated. It wasn't floated. No. It was swung in. It was swung
there's still
in.
pace on it.
So So you're running at full pelt, okay? And you leap and you try and get basically anything on it. It's not like it was floated and you have time to be able to move into the correct space in order to leap and direct it where you can. No. So it's swung in. So I would say that I think it's a bit harsh to criticize him too much for that one. He could have potentially flicked it in a different way, and potentially Bamford flicks it in the right way, or Bamford's a little bit taller, and I thought it was a bit harsh anyway that Paddy came off. But the main point is that if that chance happens in the first 20 minutes, you forget about it by full time. It's the fact that it happens in the 92nd minute.
It was literally the last chance for us, wasn't it?
With Rodney, sorry, that's his new name. Rodney, remember that, Rodney. I think that you could see a partnership happening between him and Bamford. Bamford was coming in or Rodney was going out and things like that. So I just think that Rodney is still trying to get used to the Premier League. He is very good at heading. I agree with that. But he was very much, when you were saying about Pablo, we missed Pablo. He was very much like Pablo coming in to find the space, but the other players around him just were on his level. Just that's the thing. We have so many good players, but not on the same level with other players at times.
Man of the match?
It's got to be Golden Boy, isn't it? Meslier for me.
Yep.
I mean, again, we could have lost 4-1, 5-1. But his save, I think it's really unfair that we're talking about set pieces, but the amount of times Meslier actually does really well at a set piece as well. It's his players in front of him that just cannot defend set pieces. He's there for the last ball. I mean, some of the saves he does sometimes. I mean, he had one save today where it was just a reaction save, which was absolute. At his age, he's just brilliant.
Can we be a little critical of the first goal? Should he have come out?
I'm not sure.
Well, I am. He should have.
I think he's...
well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. This is the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, they were talking about it today, about the man-to-man marking. That's how we do it in how we defend a set piece. So if he's that man in the box, so he's got a place, so he's man marking his box. So if he goes out, there's going to be another player that's going to be saying, well, what are you doing? I'm meant to be marking my player. And that's how sometimes at set pieces we are too rigid in how we defend.
Yeah, but you see, when we're playing man on man, Dallas needs to be looking at his man, not the ball, and needs to block that run.
You're right there. I agree there. Yeah.
Or when he's climbing all over him, he needs to drop to the ground.
Yeah, and he needed to. If anyone needed to do the alien flop, it was
right
that moment.
Yeah,
it was that moment. But I agree. I think the Iceman was the man of the match. That save was beautiful, wasn't it? Because it's a bullet header. I mean, he's got cheese string arms, hasn't he, Meslier? His arms they just go on forever. And I always go back to that Lundstrom save against Sheffield United. I mean, that for me was just like a game changer. I rated him, but I wouldn't say that I rated him as in he would see out the rest of the season with us. I always thought that we'd need another goalkeeper in January and sack Cassier off. But for me now, he's going to be number one for a couple of seasons, even more. But that save was fantastic. The goal that he conceded, though, I think he were going too much towards the other side. I think his momentum took him too much it was to the right, wasn't it? And it was headed to his left. I think he tried to get something on it, something substantial on it, and he didn't, did he?
Well, Meslier was my man of the match as well. But I think we've talked enough about him. So basically, a few improvements that can be made. So no more corners in football, and set pieces in general. I think it's a bit unfair. It's probably cheating if they cross it into the box from a free kick. So we can do away with that as well. Is this showing the cracks in Bielsa's philosophy, do we think? How many goals have we conceded through set pieces now? And I would say that we're not looking flimsy in defence generally, apart from set pieces.
I was listening to Phil Hayes' podcast today, and he was...
Other podcasts are available.
And I think it's something like 40-50% of the goals that we've let in are through set pieces. But obviously we train on set pieces, but that's not how Bielsa likes to play football. Football is not about how beautiful a corner goes in, how beautiful a set piece goes in, a free kick or anything. It's about how you play the football, how you play out from the back, how your defenders play, how your midfield plays, how your wingers play. And it's a very British thing about being obsessed about set pieces. I mean, I remember during the Monk years, as soon as we got a corner, we were like, fucking come on, we got a corner! We've got a penalty or something like that. I mean, you just go, lose straight away. It was like, no, it's not about getting a corner. It means nothing. Yes, we may leak some goals from corners and set pieces, but it's not just about. That's not football, is it?
1/3 of goals are from set pieces.
Yeah.
So I think if you ignore them, then you're ignoring 1/3 of all the goals that are scored. So I do think it's a big part of the game. I don't think it's the be all and end all, and I don't think that it's either or. I don't think it's either Bielsa or long ball, dead ball football. There must be some happy medium.
Well, I remember during when Christensen was with us, we were awful with set pieces. No, we got that guy in from Brentford, didn't we? The players that we've bought in as well are not the players that will be used to a set piece. I mean, with like Liam was saying, talking about Giants. Well, we're not a big team. That's fair enough, but we're not there to play football. We're actually there to want to play football. That's the difference. And I think you're not going to get massive players that are going to play football.
I don't think they appeal to Bielsa anyway. Massive giant players. I don't think anyone's got the answer to it at the moment, have they? I mean, do we need step ladders for when corners are taken? What do we need?
I'm not your real ladder.
Do it. Yeah, you go on there and just hide, and they can jump on the back of you. Do we hold a higher line? Do we try and get them in an offside trap? Is that how we get out of defending set corner set pieces? But that only works, I guess, if they're taking it short, or it's just whenever an opposition gets a corner or a set piece, Barney, I'm already waiting for the notification to come up from like Flash Score or something like that, saying that we've conceded, and it really is a problem. It really is a problem. For Phil Hay to say that it is a genuine cause for concern, and it's got to be more than like 40% now, hasn't it? It's got to be more after tonight.
I think what you said there, Liam, about is that what is the secret? I think the secret is don't concede a corner and don't concede stupid free kicks in areas where teams will punish us. If a certain team will set up and think, right, we've got a set piece here. I mean, if that was Man City, say, or Liverpool, they would not be doing like, let's do a set piece here. They would be like, quick ball, let's start playing football again. And that's the secret. I think that it's another game where we need to learn our lessons. And I know it's an old cliche, but we are learning lessons every single game during this season. And hopefully, next time we play West Ham, we know that they're going to be playing set pieces against us.
Bielsa on improving defending set pieces. There are no mysteries to what we have to do. We need to reproduce what we do on the training pitch in the game. We'll work to resolve this. What's happening is not exclusive. We resolved it before, and we'll try to do it again. Moyes said that West Ham did no extra work ahead of the game on set pieces.
He's lying.
Said
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
I can imagine. No, I can imagine him. Yeah,
because it's only been what, a few days or a week since they last played. So even if he did do that, what the fuck is he going to drill into them in a few days? I believe him. I don't think he did any extra
grow even
work.
Taller.
He would have
grow
worked
even
on
taller.
it. He said did no extra work. So they would have done exactly the same as what they're always doing. He thought they could have scored with 2 more headers, and they could have. Bielsa also said that West Ham should have won by more.
Yeah, when they hit the post, and but not in the first half though. Like I said, in the first half, I just thought they were trying to work us out a little bit. Ben Rama just kept skying ball into stand, and
working us out by having 17% possession.
Well, I think they were
working us out by giving the ball to us and camping in their own half.
When they were getting into our half, I think whenever they were trying to have a dig, I think they were snapping at it. I think they were just a little bit. I think they were just pot shots. So did you see that Ben Rama shot that just nearly went out the ground? It were ridiculous. And in the second half,
I think Ben Rama was just thinking about his holiday again. Just thinking about that Instagram
promo video.
Yeah, promo video. Yeah,
he's seen a gold chain, and he stopped thinking about it.
But the one
he can't believe he didn't buy it on the spot there, and he's still thinking about it. He's like, oh, why did I think about trying to wait for a sale? I don't need to do that. Look how much money I make.
I've just seen Cast for Gold in Holbeck.
I think we just need to recover what we do well, and I think that's the real take home, is that the last 2 games, and for a few more games this season where we've lost 4-1, which we'll try not to talk about, the things that we've done badly are the quick passes, the finishing of chances, and the creating of chances. So those 3 elements of our play, if we get those right, we can beat anybody. We almost walked Man City off the park.
And Arsenal.
Until they came back into it. We definitely should have beaten Arsenal. No idea how we didn't beat them. So I think that, there's going to be the inevitable meltdown. And if results don't turn around at some point, you can imagine that there is going to be a certain section of fans who are going to turn on Bielsa.
I don't think it should be about a meltdown. I think we need to. The club has upped its game because we're in a different league. So us as fans need to up our game as well. We need to understand we're in a different league. We need to understand that we are going to lose more games. Yeah, exactly.
Are you talking about upping your game like that? So now I've got to go around saying, cry more and. It's difficult for the players and it's difficult for the fans to make this adjustment to the Premier League, and that's totally understandable, isn't it? So let's just wrap it up now with final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm not panicking just yet. We get to 20 points by the end of December. We're fine. I think we're fine anyway. I think we'll pick up points against Newcastle. I think we'll pick up points against. We've got Burnley and West Brom after Man U. I don't know about the Man U game. I'd take a draw. But by the end of December, we get on 20 points. We're completely fine. Get to January. I don't know if they're going to open the purse strings up or not, but we can see what happens in summer. We're going to be fine this season. We're going to be fine. It's just these frustrating games when it comes down to individual errors, them games like Arsenal, City, when we could have won. It's those kind of games, isn't it, that kind of gets under your skin a little bit. But we will be fine. Bielsa's got a process. We've trusted in it. We've kind of doubted it a few times. You know, that Forest game when we lost, people lost their heads. We went on to get promoted. You know, whenever it looks like we're going down, not going down, but like as form is really dipping.
Down.
We'll beat Newcastle next week. We'll shithouse who win against Man U. We'll beat Burnley 4-0. We'll beat West Brom. Yeah, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that would be like us after tonight. That would be like Bielsa's Leeds, wouldn't it? So don't panic. It'll be fine. But I just at least want to see us to get to 20 points by end of December.
Okay. Barney?
I think we just need to get used to we're going to lose games in this league. We're not good. That's the thing. We need to get used to just losing games. We've been so used to dominating teams and winning and playing attractive football and not being dominated back. We need to learn. We need to be more clever the way we play. And when we do go ahead, we need to not let rest on our laurels. We need to be even better than we were before when we went ahead. Yeah.
For years, I remember us being mid-table in the Premiership. It was fine. We lost a lot, but we had a good day. You get to the ground and you have a pie and everything. It's all going to be okay. You're proud to be Leeds, aren't you? When you lose, if our fans were there, and I think that's something else that's missing from the fans, is that, we'd be standing there singing when we're proud of it, we're Leeds, with our arms in the air. And
I also think the difference is that being 16 years out of the Premier League is that we've got a generation of fans not used to losing against a team like West Ham where they've probably been watching Match of the Day thinking, they're shit. We should be beating them. But no, we've been out of this league for 16 years.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
One of their players cost the same as our club,
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to lose. So that's my take-home message. I've learned something today. It's okay to lose, guys. All right, so that was your match review podcast. You can follow us at Peacock's Raw, and we still need some delivery drivers for our All Elves, aren't we? Our drive to put a Christmas toy in the last food parcel delivery of the year. So if you'd like to help out, you can either email info@slunglow.org or search for All Elves Aren't We. My name is Adonis. You know me as the Adelites. It's a very goodbye from me, and it's a very goodbye from Liam.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Thanks for coming on, Liam. A match review that not many people wanted to partake in, let's say. And
if we ever lose, I'm your guy. All right.
All right. Thanks, Liam. And it's a very goodbye from Barney.
And it's very goodbye from me. We sound like the two Ronnies. We sound like the two Ronnies.
Two Ronnies, it? It's a goodbye from me to you, to me, to you.
To you. And it's a very goodbye from me. Leeds.
Leeds! We can bounce back. Come on, Leeds. Most of our stats come from LUFC Stats or LUFC Data on Twitter. You should probably give them a follow as they're more interesting than us. A very special thanks to Adam Elliot, Adam Warner, Barney Stuart, Cookie, Ewan and Howard Metcalf, Josh Pearson, Laura, Leon and Rob, The Light Show, and all our family and friends.